The anti-life equation has made planet Earth unlivable. Can these superheroes of the DC universe spirit people away before it's all too late? Well, let's hop into the pages of DCeased, issue number 6, the big finale, and find out. Okay, so picking up from where the last issue left off, Superman had also succumbed to the zombie plague. He tried to fly himself out into space in hopes that that would kill him before he could do any damage to Earth. Well, turns out that wasn't good enough, and now he's faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, and more infected than anyone else. This is bad for what's left of the Justice League. They had created several space arcs that they hoped would be able to evacuate Earth and find a new planet for them, but if infected Superman is running around, he could easily knock them out of the sky. It seems like this problem can't be ignored, and our heroes are going to have to face this very sad threat head-on. Luckily, Batman, paranoid old vigilante that he was, kept a ton of contingency policies in case any of his superpowered friends should turn rogue. Those policies have now been passed down to the new Batman Damian, including a bunch of kryptonite. That still might not be enough though, and as such, Wonder Woman, the last remaining member of the Trinity, decides to take matters into her own hands, forging a sword out of pieces of Athena's sword, and the shard of kryptonite, essentially creating the ultimate Superman killing weapon. Because if the kryptonite doesn't do him in, then the general magic nature will. Now just when it looks like things couldn't possibly get more dire, they absolutely do. It's the day of the big move, and as people are heading into the arcs, a massive, terrifying tidal wave comes on the Themyscira. This is no ordinary wave though, as it contains friggin' zombified Aquaman riding a zombified Kraken and the legions of Atlantis that also hunger for brains. Green Arrow impresses this fight right out of the gate, making the perfect headshot on zombified Aquaman. I bet wherever Batman is, he wishes he created a contingency for him too, huh? Queen Hippolyta and the rest of the Amazons refuse to let their island home fall. They also know that someone needs to slow down the horde of the dead if people are going to escape, and as such, the Amazons end up making the ultimate sacrifice. They wade into the battle, suffering great losses, and on this last day of Earth, it is paradise that serves as the bulwark against death itself. A rather interesting end for a seclusionist nation that tried to hide away from the evils of man's world, now actively dying so man's world can have a second chance. And what of the battle with Superman? Well, Green Lantern Black Canary actually makes great use of her Scream and New Lantern abilities. Wonder Woman's sword proves more than capable, chopping off Superman's arm, but not before getting her own guts ripped out and the infection spread to her. Cyborg, the one who started all of this, vows to stay behind with Wonder Woman, not wanting to go on the ark with everyone else. This means it's up to poor John Kent, the Superboy, to grow up before his time and really start filling his father's shoes sooner rather than later, as he's the only thing that can stop a zombified Superman. And again, isn't this an interesting little scene here? Superman was sent as a child in a ship to another world, and now as the human race leaves its world in a ship, the half-human Superboy is actually sent back to try and save them all from the same destruction that Krypton would face. In the end, Superboy doesn't kill his father a second time, thankfully, but he doesn't have to, as that point the Green Lantern Corps end up showing up in full force to try and quarantine Earth. It's here too that the anti-life equation zombies actually show a little bit of intelligence here. The zombified Superman knows full well that it could never defeat an entire Green Lantern Corps, and as such it chooses to do the next best thing. And that is use Superman's ability to absorb solar rays and essentially burn out Earth's sun. Yes, this means pretty much everything in the Milky Way galaxy would freeze and die, but the disease that is the anti-life equation can live in the cold, and in fact it will do just that, waiting for a time in which it can spread again. Now back on Earth, the situation continues to be dire. Cyborg thinks to take Wonder Woman's lasso and get her to speak the truth. Well, to get the anti-life equation to speak the truth at least, and that is there a cure? Was there ever a cure? The answer? Well, yeah, Vic Cyborg, it was in you all along. You were patient zero. You are man and machine, flesh and steel, but also binary made real. For a second there, Cyborg's overjoyed. He thinks there's actually a chance now, a way that they could save Earth, but he never gets the chance to tell people on the Ark because, again, as the now zombified Wonder Woman with a voice says, life is fleeting, but death is eternal. That is the only real truth in the universe. Now, that's shaping up to be a majorly dour ending, right? But there actually is a ray of sunshine at the end. The Ark ships do manage to make it to another world, an Earth that they dub Earth 2, which is pretty fun when we stop and consider that Tom Taylor totally wrote the Earth 2 book for a little bit, and it's on that note right there the comic comes to a close. And so that was DCeased issue number 6, everybody, and I bet I'm not alone when I say you didn't think that a book filled with so much blood, gore, and cannibalism would ultimately end up also having so much heart and soul. Ultimately, what this ended up being was a story about the death of the Trinity, the death of the old way of life, but also the possibility that things could actually be better in the future despite all the horror. And at the end of the day, isn't that one of the major reasons why we as readers enjoy zombie stories and zombie fiction? Because, they're also show what you're made of type stories too that give normal everyday people a chance to be heroes, and in the case of this superhero story, give other heroes the chance to be more heroic. The door is also super left open for a sequel or follow-up, and I get the feeling that this is popular enough that just might happen. Maybe next year for Halloween. Wouldn't that be fun? Overall, I'd give this one a 9 out of 10. Really good.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again. Just wanted to take a moment to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, and if you're in the market for comic books right now, and I mean really who isn't, you might want to check out my book depository link down in the description. It's no joke my favorite place to buy comic book trades. You get a great price, and if you use my link, not only will you be getting yourself something nice, but you'll be helping out the channel a little bit while you do so. So, you win, I win, everybody wins, right? And until next time everyone, this has been Cape Joel. Bye-bye.